my opinion, the three hardest sites to attack on slash three easiest maps to defend on. This is my opinion, and these could change anytime. But also, real quick, these do not include casual maps like Stadium or Yacht or stuff like that, like last video, because those maps are literally all defender sided. But these maps are only going to be in like ranked and stuff like that. So let's get into it. Shock some people, but at number three, I have Oregon. And it's not necessarily because I think it's that defender sided. I just think that there are more like attacker heavy sided maps than there are the defender heavy sided maps in this game. But like Siege as a whole, like I said last video, is a defender sided game because the defenders they set the sights, not the angles. But I think Oregon is does sort of lean toward defenders a bit more than most. I'm not saying it's like hard to attack on because you could definitely easily win by attacking on this map if you just play right. So for that reason, I'm not going to give it too much like oh my gosh it's so hard to defend on. Um, but there is one operator who I'm using right now that is insane on this map, and that's Mute. Mute. I mean, if you place these two mute jammers right here on White Stairs and on Trophy Room Doorway, the enemy has no intel. Now, I didn't know this until recently, but there is a drone hole back here. But let's say you know about it, get this. All their all their intel's gone. They literally can't get in another way until the round starts. And they just throw drones elsewhere. For attacking, there are a few places that most people attack from. The most common is definitely bedroom, main, or whatever people call it. They like to go through here, including me. This is where I like to attack from on this site. But usually, if you reinforce this wall and put like a mute jammer here, like if you get walled out, reinforce this, they literally can't enter unless you have like EMPs and crap like that. But I don't really see most people bringing EMPs on this map unless they're going for like a breach on Attic over there. Another place is here, although this is sort of a problem because you're stuck here in this little area with this sort of long hallway, and this is probably the most common angle holding place in the game. Probably on kids' doorway right here. Well, maybe not the most common, but like it is one of the most common. Like if you hold this angle right here, it can go both ways, but this is probably one of the most common angles in the game. Um, you know, all that good stuff. But usually you'll put a rotate here and add it, and I don't think most people push from attic anymore. Not that I've seen. I used to do it a lot, and I still will sometimes. But like, let's say, well, I guess you really can't ban it because if you are, it's either going to be the wall over there or the wall right here. But even if the defenders or the attackers do get it open, you still have to worry about this and this. And if you're a defender and you like reinforce both of these walls, then you really can't have someone like protect you while you're pushing them here because all they have to do is just hold an angle on you, like right here. There is top right, but most people would probably have that castled off or someone holding an angle on it. Well, maybe not holding an angle, but if you like sit right here, you don't have them staring at you. Or if you sit right here, and you can just hear him and then like shoot him and he's dead. Some people will get on this window. I don't notice it, and it's also very, very easy to hear them on this window. Even if they do, they still can't see you. So if you're pushing them at it, all you have to do is wait to either see them right here or hear them drop, and you can just like pre-fire and kill them. So Attic gets shut off kind of easily. White Stairs, not as many people push through here. You could make an angle into this site, but you have to worry about then kids. Like if no one's coming from Attic, you have to worry about either the one or two people that are sitting in a B site. So they'll just hold an angle on you, or there could be a guy around the corner because, again, the attackers cannot see you through this bunk bed right here. So they can just be holding an angle on you and then just swing you and kill you. And there's that. And then like the last place, again, main, probably the most common push in this game. Uh, and if you're not pushing from attic, the defenders sometimes will have like head holes in the wall right here, so they'll just kind of zap you as soon as you push through main. Or that they might, if anyone's roaming on this map, which this isn't a terrible map to roam on. I think it's a pretty good map to roam on. But I'm not a big roamer. I don't roam, so I probably couldn't really give an accurate judgment on it. But you could get flanked pretty easily. Like if you have one guy roaming, like Vigil on this map, probably be crazy because you could just hold. All you have to do is Vigil is hold one doorway the second you see on the top, and they're dead. Because there's not too many places to push from. Like again, there's only top white, what big window, main, and sometimes attic. But I see less and less people going attic every single day. So there's really only 3 main um, pushes, like areas to push from as an attacker. But overall, Oregon still you can definitely win without much difficulty on attack. I just didn't really know what other maps are like actually that defender sided. So I went with Oregon because it's probably the most well-known map to everybody.
Your location has been
So
compromised.
I just went with it because once you really know how to defend it, it's really hard for attackers to win if they don't know what they're doing. But if they do know what they're doing, it's not very hard to, for it to go both ways. But overall, still leans toward defense. But that's just me. Surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, or maybe you have an idea. Number 2, which is Consulate. I think Consulate is more defender-sided because of one site I'll get to in a second. But still, as an attacker, it can be pretty hard to push from. Mainly, people will try and push from like over in this room right here because this is literally the only place, like as an attacker, that's not very difficult, like to kind of take ground. But right here, let's say you're pushing from what is this, yellow stairs? I think that's what people call it. I like to go buck on this site and like open up this wall right here, and then like push in. But you got to worry about all to counter people going into this room right here. You really just got to have someone sitting here because if someone sits in here and like let's say has this like throat or this hatch open, well, you can hold angles right here. And let's say no one comes from here, well, if they decide to come from the spiral staircase over there and they don't drone you out, or even if they do, let's say they do drone you out, you can just run back in the side and then hold an angle all the way to the doorway right here. And if they drone you out there on yellow stairs, well, they still kind of push up right here, and you can just kind of sit here and hold them. But most people will try to either push from yellow stairs or spiral stairs somewhat. But that's not really a problem if you literally just have 2 people in here. And now a lot of people will try to open up this wall and like maybe go for a quick plant or like kind of take side, like let's say go Capiteo, shoot your fire stuff over here. Well, this room's good and all until the defender throws a C4 and you die. You can't plant here unless you go for some cheesy Montane turtle plant and like hope and pray that they don't have a C4. No, but that's literally it. Like I like to go Goyo on the site, and since Goyo, in my opinion, is a maybe top 3 defender, he can just kind of completely shut off this doorway right here. Because as an attacker, if you're pushing from stairs, like what I like to do is Goyo, I'll just hold an angle on the stairs right here. Or if they decide to push from what is this, printing room or whatever, like most people or most teams will have at least one person singing and you're holding these windows because these are a very common spot to push from as an attacker. But literally all it takes is one guy singing here to kind of shut you down because at the end of the day, you have to be the one to swing at some point. And if no one comes and help you, if no one comes to help you, you're just kind of stuck unless like someone literally wraps around from spiral staircase to try to run in here and like save you somehow. or come from here, which all you have to do is have like 2 people in each site and 1 person in the printing room, and you kind of win. So, but other than that, let's say you don't have someone in printing room. Well, they still have to push from here. You can hold this angle. Now, an attacker could just come over here and maybe swing and kill you. This is a swing or be swung game. But other than that, like, so now this is a pretty good place to push from, I will say. Like, if you get this wall open, or like this wall, then you have a large range to kind of attack from, and it does help if you get that wall over there open. But overall, all you have to do to counter all of that is literally just have like a rotation hole right here, or like head holes right here to aim inside. So now I do not have a shotgun or anything on me, but if you just hold this, I'll reinforce this real quick. All you have to do is hold this, and it shuts down literally anyone coming in, especially if you have a mirror right here, which a lot of people don't get a mirror on this site, which maybe that might be a thing people could do in the future. But like if you go a mirror here, oh my gosh, I mean you completely shut down everyone. The only way to counter is if you have an Ash or maybe Ace if they decide to bring Ace for this, but most people would probably bring Thermite anyway. But again, if maybe if this wall was solid, it'd be a lot easier to take this room. But because this wall right here exists, can be like the one reason that it's actually kind of hard to attack from here. Because like this room, like again, like A site's really not that hard to take as an attacker. It's just B site is like nearly impossible to kind of take, like because they can hold the other site from a very far distance. And if they reinforce this, you know, that's just even harder because you can't wall bang them. And it also really sucks if you have a guy sitting in here and they cut off you trying to like swing and kill them right here. But overall, yeah, it's not impossible to win on attack. It's just difficult because of B site. Because like taking B site is kind of hard. Like as an attacker, you can either choose to attack B site or A site because you at least need like 3 people to kind of push from each site. And if you lose most of your guys, then they're going to have numbers immediately. So it's just kind of situational. Now, going down these next sites, we have the piano site right here, which is you know, first floor site. A lot of people, y'all are probably familiar with it. I actually didn't know. Huh. Well, anyway, as a defender, you really only have to worry about 2 places. That place and this place over here. If you defend those places, you win. Like, it's literally just that simple. Now, I mean, it's not that simple. You still gotta worry about, you know, the hatch, and like if they get bird and all that good stuff. But other than that, like, I mean, this window is way too easy. Like, I think some people will say it's easy to tackle, and some people I know might say it is, but all you have to do is hold, like, get a head hole, like, right here, and you probably defend from it. Other than that, it's literally just this room. Now, there are a bunch of softballs here. If you reinforce our softballs in here, the attackers can barely push from here. Now, if you do have a thermite or like a hard breacher, it's not so bad, but you, as an attacker, your options are kind of limited. It's not like if you come in here, this is pretty easy to just kind of walk in and like slowly pick off people sometimes. But like what I like to do is go smoke, and I'll smoke off these doors right here, so it just kind of makes them hard to attack from. And like I barely ever see anyone breaching up, or I barely see anyone breaching this wall right here. I see most attackers come through this doorway right here. Like they'll come from yellow stairs or hallway and push, which is, in my opinion, kind of stupid because like there's like a giant box outside of freaking whatever the other side is. I don't know what side stands are in this game. But that's pretty much it for this side. It's not too hard to win an attack around on. It's just not easy. Like Fuse on this site's pretty good in my opinion. But moving on to what, in my opinion, I used to think this is one of the worst sites in the game, but first floor slash basement site on this, it's not terrible to defend on. I used to think it was awful because there's a defender spot and there's an attacker spot. Now this side again is not very good. It's pretty attacker sided, but as a whole, it's just these two windows. Like there's no salt. Well, I mean there's the salt wall, but if you reinforce that, you're probably going to be good. They just have these two windows to come from, and all you have to do is kind of have like a guy right here, or have a guy on stairs hold the angles here. You could have like maybe two people up here, one in that corner or that corner, and one on stairs, and you kind of have this side on lockdown. Now on the basement side, I forgot where the bomb is in here. This is where things kind of get weird. Like you got the defenders or the attackers can push from there or over here, which I like to push from here on this site because there's only like, you know, two places you have to worry about, which is this. Now, some people will open this wall, like not too long ago that happened to me. Like they had this wall open, so I kind of had to worry about this wall and this door. But overall, yeah, the site, it's more attacker sided, but it's not like that hard to win a defense round on. But here, in my opinion, might be the hardest site in the game to attack on, or the easiest site to defend on. It is, in my opinion, just ridiculously hard to attack on for a couple of reasons. One, let's say you want to get a garage or the main breach open on garage. Well, if they're bandit tricking or have wall denial and you try to EMP it, it is very, and I mean very easy to throw a C4 over these walls and kill somebody. It literally works 90% of the time. And if you want to attack from this hallway right here, I mean, and the sad thing is this is where I mainly attack from, but it's just so easy for, like, as a defender, you can hold this doorway right here, or, like, get up, hold it from right here, and there's usually going to be someone over there. It's nearly impossible to attack from this doorway. If you want to attack from this hallway, which is probably one of the hardest hallways in the game to attack from, defenders will usually just have like a head hole in that wall, and they have, just by that alone, mainly shuts off the entire hallway, like you being an attacker. But now it's not so bad attacking from here, but again, same sort of deal. If they have a head hole or like a mirror, like you're basically done. So like this map is genuinely like, I don't struggle attacking on a ton of sites in this game, and I don't think there's a map that like really makes me feel like it's hard to attack or defend one way or another. But this site genuinely like frustrates me how hard it is to attack on basement on console. But again, that's just me. I feel like this is gonna come as a surprise to a lot of people, but for number one, I'm going Chalet. Now I used to love this map a lot, but over time you kind of start to realize like exactly how defender sided it is. Because if you do the setup I'm doing right now, you have a mirror right there. And if you come over here, mirror right here, which is what like 99% of people do that play this site. If you do those two things, or if you just reinforce the walls, you get a free round. Like it genuinely, I don't think there's very many places easier to defend on than second floor on Chalet, and the other side on Chalet, which I'll get to in a second. But this hallway gets completely shut off, and this window right there gets completely shut off because of this one mirror. And you might be thinking, oh, well, you can open this up to counter it. If you have wall denial, you literally won't be able to get this open. And if they're like, the only way you'll ever have a chance to win an attack around is it is a must. You have to go hard breacher. if you do not go hard breacher, you're giving the defenders a free round because like you're not going to be able to create any rotations one, and which is kind of a like necessity. Like you're going to be able to have to penetrate some places of this site, mainly from like I would say there's really no. Well, I mean, it's still really hard to attack from. The only saving grace about this site for attackers is big window and this door right here. If this door did not exist, it would be like near. It would be near impossible to win a attack around if this doorway did not exist. Because like the only thing you have to worry about if you're sitting on this Amira is literally this doorway if someone pushes up. But you can like kind of counter it if you have barbed wire. You can counter a hallway if you go barbed wire, and you can counter this window if you have barbed wire. So barbed wire is pretty big in my opinion on this map, like or this site specifically. I think this is a top 10 hardest site to attack on. Very easy to defend, especially if you have castle, but I do think castle is kind of getting more and more irrelevant as time goes on. But that's a different video for a different day. You attacking from stairs on this side is like near impossible. I mean, one, you have to worry about the doorway right here. But the attackers are usually going to, or defenders, excuse me, are going to have head holes usually. So you either pick here, or here, or here. And let's say you go for the doorway. Oh, there's a guy sitting on here like that Mira shows you. Peeks, kills you. Or you decide to have this. He might not be on the door, but it'll be right here on the bathroom door. He'll peek and kill you. So this is one of the hardest areas to attack on. And now what is this, panic room? Yeah, panic room right here. Let's say you do hop in. You hop in right here. You have to worry about bathroom. You have to worry about the mini hallway right there. And you have to worry about a site, whoever's in here, and that mirror. Because if you hop in, the mirror, whoever's playing on the mirror is going to see you. Unless they're blind, they're not going to miss you. So, well, that's one of the things. And I could go Ash. Like the only attacker that like moderately gives the defenders problems is Ash because Ash can counter the mirrors and such. But again, if you have Waldenau, Ace can't really do anything about it. You basically have to go Ace. You have to get this wall. If you don't get this wall open, it's very hard to win in general. But yeah, I think Chalet, very hard map to attack on second floor especially. Now, the first floor sites, they're pretty balanced. I don't think they're too bad. They're still defender-sided. Because, well, I guess you got to worry about maybe basement. But the problem with basement is it's so weird to attack, like, pushing up from basement because you got to worry about the doorway right there. You got to worry about this doorway. And you got to worry about someone sitting right here. So it feels weird because it's like 3, maybe over there, like 4 different areas you got to worry about when you're swinging. It's so weird. So that's what kind of makes it difficult to attack from basement on this side. On this window, all you have to do, now if you choose to reinforce it or not, if you just hold an angle, again, like this is why you have to bring ace. If you don't ace open some of these walls, you're probably going to lose. You could get vert, which does make it a bit easier, but I mean, again, it's like if you don't, like you have to bring vert or like breachers to even like stand a chance on some of these like first floor sites right here. I'm not an expert on these sites. I don't really play on them much at all, so I'm not like an expert on how to defend or attack on these sites. Like if we're going the bar area, I'd say this is like the only site that's like, it's not attacker sided because again, like it's just a weird kind of, it just feels like a weird layout. It's not a bad site. It's just like, I'd say it's pretty balanced, but it is a weird site. It's balanced, but it's weird, if that makes any sense. Now, this is why Chalet is number 1. Basement, all right? So, Chalet is basically like Consulate, except with a better second floor and a slightly, very, very slightly worse basement. It's basically the same as consulate, but not why it's broken. But it's basically the same thing. Like most people try to get this breach open, which you could just bandit trick if you're good at it. You basically shut them down. If you have barbed wire right here, the defenders or the attackers are not going to make it down because you have to worry about that doorway. You have to worry about the rotation that like 95% of siege players make in that wall over there, and you have to worry about the door or someone's bandit tricking. So if you're swinging this, there's way too many places you got to worry about. The only time you would ever probably attack from here is if you know like two, maybe three, yeah, like basically two of the defenders are dead. If not, most players will probably attack from the hallway right here and the stairs. If you're attacking from here, it's weird because again, you gotta worry about this door right here, and you gotta worry about the door over there, like part of the hallway that kind of cuts over. And especially since no one's going to be right here because it's in the exact line of the stairway if someone does hold the angle. But you got to worry about if someone's in that corner, or in this corner. So if you push from here, they'll see you from here. If there's no one there, they'll see you from here. But if you get swingers advantage, sure, you kill them, but then there might be a guy right there. And even if there's no one there, someone could just swing you right here and then kill you. But if you decide to go for them first, they might see you. So it's attacking from here is really not so easy. Yeah. Now, this site over here, the beer place area, I don't know, whatever it's called, this is where it's like slightly easier to attack from. This doorway, like right here, is where I've noticed a lot of people do attack from. Now, I like to make a rotate this wall right here because I do like to like hold this hallway. And let's say I hear someone breaking it over here. Well, shoot, I could go over here and then hold them right here. So if you make a rotation here, play your cards right, you can kind of shut off this doorway like completely. And this is where I probably attack from the most is the garage over here. Most people, it's very hard to like roam in this area because the attackers can just open up this wall and that wall and push from the doorway over there. But even then, you have to attack from this like moderately long hallway that's all hard walls. Once you get here, you have to worry about the guy that's probably playing the rotate over there, or in this doorway, or if someone's sitting on the stairs. Most people don't sit on the stairs, but like if you bring a mirror right here, it just kind of shuts down like the entire hallway. So yeah, this map, it's one of the hardest sites on this map and in the game to defend on. Like if you can get the hatch maybe, but at the end of the day, like once you drop, you got to worry about the people in the cellar right here, the other side. And normally there's not going to be someone just sitting around holding this, but there's most likely going to be someone maybe playing right here, I'll say. So you either, if you drop, you're probably going to have to worry about people in the cellar right there, which 90% of the time there is. If not, you're going to have to quickly, drop whoever's right there. But if there's like 4 people, or maybe even 3 left, they're probably going to kill you. Like, I would only drop this hatch if there's like 2 defenders left. If it's like a 3v2 or something like that. But that's literally the only scenario I would. Overall, this side, again, and this map, very hard to attack on, in my opinion. Just so easy to defend on. That might be surprising a lot of people because I know a lot of people like Chalet. And I used to like Chalet a lot, but I think once you just kind of, over time, you start kind of realizing how defensive side it can be. Like, because once you know how to defend good on this site, it's like nearly kind of, it's not possible to attack on, but it's very difficult. Like this site, basement consulate and upstairs chalet are some of the hardest sites in the game, and two of them on the same map. So that's why I'm going Chalet as the hardest map to attack on. But that's just me.